right. I'm so excited, you guys. We have never done a call like this. I personally have never heard a training with newly certified consultants just in their first 70 days or right out of their first 70 days. And I think it's going to bless you guys. I'm going to go ahead and introduce them because I don't want to talk a lot. I want them to share with you guys what they're a little bit of who they are, why they decided to join Scentsy, what they've been doing in their business to see the most success, things that they jump through, whether it's fears or misconceptions or just really beating their best mindset self and really they both set massive goals for each other. And it's really cool because I have Lee, who is at the bottom, who actually is my mom. You guys, a lot of y'all know that Cece, my daughter, is named after her. Her name is Cecile, actually, but she goes by Lee. And she joined a couple of months ago. And so she's still in her first 70 days, but she's already earned Sensational Start Level 2. She has had 2 parties. She has done a ton of individual sip and sniffs that she doesn't realize that's what it is, but going to people's houses often, letting them smell scents, getting orders. And she is signed up for SFR. And then in the top right corner is my girl, Danny, who I thankfully met virtually over a year ago, and she is in Idaho, you guys, and she earned Sensational Start Level 2 also, completely was trained over the phone, no hands-on training, through a home launch party just like Lee, but I did do Lee's home launch party. And Danny works from home. She has 2 young kids. And so you guys are really going to hear 2 completely different perspectives on how both of them work. And I'm just so proud of you guys. And I'm so glad you guys are on tonight. So who wants to go first? You want me to pick? Danny? Danny.
You want me to go?
Yes, I'm going to mute you, Lee, but I'll unmute you. So okay. Danny, if you want, just go ahead and take it away. I'll be right here.
Okay. Well, first of all, somebody, I think it was Courtney, I just saw in the little comment, she says, go for the one or something like that. And I just think that's huge because I heard at the women's retreat that I went to, the pastor was saying how we sometimes take advantage of our onlys. And it's very easy to overlook that. Like you say, well, I only have 1 person on my team or 2 people on my team or whatever. Okay, but you can still use that only. And it's just powerful how you can change your mindset of things. Sorry, I got scrolled already, but I joined off of the $25 join special. And it's just crazy to think like how far I have come since then. I mean, I'm not even 3 months into this, and so it's just crazy to think that I joined for $25. And I figured joining, why not make off of my own purchases? Like that's what I mean, I have 2 people that just joined under me too, but that's what I tell them. Like there should be no reason that I feel like I'm failing because worst case scenario, I'm getting paid for my own purchases. I mean, since he's already taking all of my money anyways, so why not, try to make some of that back? It makes sense. So once I dipped my feet in after my launch party, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this 110%. That way I know that if this fails, I literally have done everything that I could to be successful. And again, back to square one. If it doesn't work out, who cares? I'm getting paid for my own purchases. I literally have Scentsy all over my house. So it just makes sense. And honestly, I have been praying for this since the first time Chloe reached out to me to join. I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. It's just not my time, and just praying and asking like, God, is this the time? It's $25 to join. God, you hear my prayers. You know what I want. Like, is this the time? And I'm like, why not? I want this business to fill not only my cup, but to overflow into other cups. Like I love to bless people. Like that's my favorite thing to do. And why not, bless people with Scentsy, whether it's sharing and, having them join or whatnot. But if anything comes out of Scentsy, I mean, it would be fantastic to make all this money and, go on all these fancy trips that you guys are getting to go on. But thinking about square one, if my only calling for this business is to bless other people, then, you know, I would count that as a win, right? Um, but okay, so let's get started. I'm a list person. Anybody else have their lists? Okay, so the first thing that Chloe asked us to share is most successful tips on getting uncomfortable to launch business. And she's gonna laugh at me, but having that launch party was so huge. And she will tell you that I fought, like I did not want to have my launch party. Like I am an introverted extrovert. Like I am to myself. I want to do things like behind the scenes and then be like, bam, look what I did. You know what I mean? So to announce that I was like starting my own business and, you know, doing all of this stuff, like that was scary, honestly. Like I fought her. I'm like, I don't want to do a launch party. Like this is not me. I just want to get paid for my own purchases. But she's not lying when she says like this sets you up, like sets you up for success 110%. Um, I mean, my launch party, I had maybe 5 or 6, including myself at this party. But I think it's key on to who you're inviting, because you don't want to just invite some random Sally Joe. You know, you want it to be your inner circle. You want it to be people that, you know, want to see you succeed, want to see you grow. I mean, it's great that Sally Joe comes to your party, but it's those people that are in your inner circle that want to see you succeed. So I think that was the biggest thing to set me off strong. Next thing I have is doing the uncomfortable and posting Scentsy a lot. And Chloe will even tell you I was so uncomfortable with this because again, I'm like sharing this, what I'm doing, you know, like I love Scentsy, but gosh, I have to blow people's Instagram and Facebooks up. Like they're just going to see me as another salesman and just that mindset. But you have to have that mindset shift of it only takes one. Like every time I have posted on Instagram, I get at least one order from it. You know, like I said, it only takes one. People are watching. I was watching Chloe for a few years before I joined, before, you know, any of this stuff. So it just takes one, like one flip to switch, even in my head, to join with Chloe, you know, like it doesn't take much. So being consistent in the posting. Um, what else? Oh, send those texts to join or to share your new business and don't look back. It is extremely uncomfortable to send those texts. Trust me. Like I just got my 2 new recruits, but it was so uncomfortable to be like, hey, just to let you know, like I have this join special, but thinking of it as like I'm sharing this opportunity with them. You know, they've been seeing me post consistently on social media. They see that I'm like in love with this stuff. So why not, you know, share? I went through all of my contacts and I'm like, okay, I wouldn't think to reach out to this person. I'm just going to send them, hey, I'm just starting to sell Scentsy. I'm starting my own business. Um, like Chloe said, I'm a full-time mom. Sorry, a full-time stay-at-home mom. I work full time. That's 2 jobs in itself, you know? So like people see and they know that this is what I'm doing. So, you know, just putting it out there, people want to support you. So, but they're not going to know unless you share. Next thing I have is purse samples. You guys might laugh at me, but this is legit. What goes in my purse? It feels like a book, like it's legit, super thick. But if I show you guys, this is where I have made probably 80% of my sales are my purse samples. Like I see some of you guys agreeing with me, but like it's funny. I've already sealed these because I've already told myself I'm going to give out. I've already given out 3. So here's 3 more. Like I said, I love to bless people. So this might not work for everybody, but it works for me. So I have a catalog. I have a product list. I have my current scratch, rub and sniff. Chloe, I think you created this and shared it on Canva. I stole it, by the way. Thank you. Rub and smells. I even included my favorite like stuff, confetti, because you can't go wrong with confetti. And I throw a scent circle in literally everything that I give away because I love free stuff and I know people are going to love free stuff. And if they see that I'm going to be willing to give away free stuff and they haven't even bought from me, they're going to be pretty pumped to know what their Happy Meal entails. So this is literally, it's a stack. All of this goes in my purse, in my zipping. So what else? Next part is what I focused on for Sensational Start. Listen, I am probably the most competitive person you will ever meet in your entire life. And it's probably not a good thing for some things, but for Scentsy, it is right up my alley. First 15 days, you got the shooting star. And then within 70 days, you have the 3 different tiers for sensational, or I'm sorry, what am I thinking of? Sensational, yeah. So just having those numbers to hit, I'm like, okay, this is sensational 1. This is what I got to hit. I'm going to knock it out. Okay, this is what's level 2 and level 3. So really having those lists broken out is helpful, but I'm not going to lie, like Chloe's my leader, and it was really hard starting to see, like, you know, she's got this crazy amount of followers, you know, she's killing it and all of the Scentsy stuff, but really taking a step back and thinking, okay, Danny, you just started less than 3 months ago. Let's set goals that work for me, because what's working for her might not work for me, or vice versa. So just really taking a step back and be like, okay, Chloe's been doing this for 10 plus years. I've been doing this for not even 3 months. So I need to look at what my current goals are. My current goals were the shooting star, you know, and some people, even if you don't get that, there's still goals that you can hit every single month. It's just setting those goals that work for you and what's best for your business. And just reminding why you started. So let's see. And then my last category was sponsoring. Let's see. Really just focusing on women my age, my same mindset of things. Like, yes, we want everybody to join. We want everyone to be a part of our team, but you have to pick the people that you can relate to. Like, I was able to relate to Chloe. Like, she's got young kids, you know, she's doing all of these things and having their activities and all of these things that she's a part of, and it's relatable. And I'm like, if she can do that, I can do that. I know I have a full-time job. That's hard. I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom. That's hard, you know? So just finding women that I can relate to and that can relate to me as well. And that has been successful for me. And that's how I got 2 people to join so far, hopefully more. A little happy dance. But like at our women's retreat, like I know there's a bunch of women in our church who are either stay-at-home moms or they do work full-time and have little ones, but being able to relate to them and be like, look, this is what I do. I'm able to do all of that stuff, right? And on top of it, it doesn't feel like it's selling Scentsy. Like Scentsy sells itself. Like people see that I'm posting it and I'm in love with it. My kids, I involve my kids in this stuff. Like Avery, my daughter, she is 5 going on 15. That's a whole different story. But she like, Mom, you got another Scentsy box. Let's make a video. Let's open it. Let's smell all the things. Like, and I share that with everybody because it's exciting. It like Chloe would show Cece getting into all of the stuff and changing out the wax. And I'm like, I can be doing that. Like, it's not that hard. Things that smell good make us happy. So like, why not want to share that? And people are going to be full of excuses. You know, we all were when we first joined or before we all joined. You know, I've got this, and this going on. I'm way too busy. Things are chaos, not going to work. But just being able to relate, like I said, relate. We all have the same excuses, just staying persistent and showing day to day with our family, and it'll work. I seriously remember the first time Chloe texted me, because that's why she said I was probably one of her favorite customers, because I bought a lot. Like, I went in head first. I was like in love with Scentsy. I'm like, I need this, I need this, I need this. She's like, girl, you need to slow down. Let me get you a link so you can get some free stuff. And she's like, you could have gotten paid for this, this, and this. And I'm like, abort mission. No, I don't want to talk about that. Like, I just want to buy stuff, please. Like, I remember having that feeling. And so now that the roles are reversed and like I'm the one being like, girl, you could have made that much money off of this order, or these orders should be going to you. It's funny how things work. And you really just have to be persistent and keep going and keep pushing forward. what did she say? I'm trying to remember. If they don't say no, then there's still a chance. Like, just, keep, it's like planting little mustard seeds, just a little drop of, hey, you could have made that much money. Hey, let me get you a party link so you can get free stuff. And like, the more that you learn about it and find out, like, dang, I can get a lot of free stuff, or dang, I can get, I can bless people with free businesses out of this. You just have to be consistent. And yeah, that's all I got, Miss Chloe.
So one thing I wanted to add to yours is, and hopefully you'll be okay with me saying this, but I mean, I think you will be, like, she really had to push past her mind, Danny did, because there would be times where she would be like, I don't know if this post is too much, or I don't know
Yeah.
if this is okay, or like, remember, like, and like what's happened over the months is you just became more confident over the weeks, over the days, over the hours, really, because when you would do the one post, then I would realize you really wouldn't ask me about another one unless maybe it was a reel, or maybe you were talking for a while, and then, I'd give feedback. But it's like, the more that you just went and took that step and went out there and you really developed it into your life and you fit it around your life, that's when you became more confident and just continued to share even more. And so that was something that, I feel like a lot of people on here can relate to, and people that listen later on YouTube, is like, you didn't just come into this with, with this massive confidence. Nobody does. Like, literally took my stepmom 11 years to join, y'all. She's watched me I had my first party at her house, okay? Like 14 years ago, when I had a party before I was a consultant. But it's like, even with Danny, she didn't know me. We were not like, we've never seen each other, and so she really went out on a limb to be like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. And y'all need to hear that, because you guys are being modeled and seeing things from hundreds of consultants that are in leadership in Scentsy, that you guys are seeing one commonality, which is those consultants that are in leadership and consultants that are earning incentives and that are doing well. We are getting ourselves out there. We are doing uncomfortable things. We are being authentic. We are incorporating our life into Scentsy. But the one thing that we are doing is we are always taking that shot. Every single time that Danny would have an order to close, or when she would reach out to me about being obsessed with a bar or something, I would always try to throw it in there. Like, you could get paid for this. You would be great at this, but not trying to do too much. And that's because I was being just authentic, right? And so Danny you're the same way. You know what I mean? It's like you're missing the opportunity if you don't share with them that they could, come back. She just got one of her good friends, who used to be one of my customers, but is one of my good friends now. She actually got her to reinstate back under her, and she wants to like really do it now. And it's because she saw it work through Danny. She had watched it through me, but it took Danny to be doing it to be like, okay, like, what am I doing? And so I just wanted to make sure that that was like said, Danny, about like all this stuff is uncomfortable that you've been doing. Like, you're not just like, oh, like Lee's a super extrovert, so when she talks, it'll be a little different. Like, but it can be uncomfortable, especially when you're working from home, you're behind a screen, you have your kids that you're comfortable with. It can be really uncomfortable to get out there, right? And like have people in your home and do booking bags, you guys. Like, she did booking bags, and like, she probably thought I was crazy, but I was like, you need to have booking bags out. I don't even care if they don't book, but at least they're going to know, right? So is there anything, Danny, before I move to Lee, that you want to add?
No, I just hope that it blesses everyone. I mean, I literally have a list of everything I said. So if anybody needs notes, I literally have them. So
I love that. I love it so much. And with one of the girls that just joined, she was from the women's retreat. And so
yes.
she literally, I remember Danny telling me she was making all these samples and doing all these things for the girls that were there. She was so nervous about it, because who wouldn't be?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's those are the things, like getting uncomfortable, but having a belief in, right, that you're going to bless people. And that's how I feel too. Like, I genuinely want to bless people. So knowing you were like, I'm going to bless them regardless of if they order or not, they're
Yeah.
going to know that this fragrance is going to enhance their lives. It's going to make their day better, and they're going to know who to order it from. That's what it's all about. And that's
Right.
the piece that a lot of new consultants and also seasoned consultants that are struggling or missing is the human connection, the taking the opportunity, having the packets in your purse, taking the opportunity. I had someone do photos at my house today. Best believe she got all the scents, and she's coming back over next week and she's going to order them. Taking every moment to bless people and to have real conversations and to really take those moments that you can take personally with people. So everything on social media is just extra. It's a bonus because it's the connections. The two people that joined under her, she knows them. You know what I mean? And that's what connections are all about. And so I'm just really proud of you, Danny. And lead is on the way. It's happening in June, girl. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, I have to check your numbers actually. So it could be tomorrow, but we'll talk about that later. Okay. So I'm going to mute you, Lee. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you and let you go ahead and share.
Well, hi guys. And Danny, while you were talking, it's funny, I wrote down some notes from what you said, and some of our story is a lot. Yeah, like, there's a lot of similarities there. So I agree with everything that Chloe said too. So for me, yes, I've been ordering Scentsy for 11 years from Chloe. I love it. I love it so much, and I'm so proud of her. I love everything about this girl anyway, but I'm just so proud of her for like so many reasons, but she's just done a tremendous job with this business. And I have watched from afar, just being proud of her and just always thinking like, this would be interesting, but I'm not a salesperson. Like, I wouldn't be able to sell something. So that's more or less what held me back. I just thought, no, I'm happy for her, but this is not like something that I would be able to do for myself. So yes, back to April. We were painting a dresser in her garage, and the conversation just came up about how many club subscriptions I have. And I have 3, and it's just because I want them at different timelines, and there's different reasons for that. But she then just let me know, like, you could be making money off your own orders. And then I order other things throughout the year too, like if I like a warmer or so. That got me thinking, like, you know what? That's true. If I do nothing other than that, I'd still be seeing a little return. And then I'm sure like some family and some friends would order for me. And if that's it, then that's still a positive. So that's what kind of gave me I guess to be brave to go ahead and do this. But yeah, and then it's like as soon as I went ahead and joined, it's like all of a sudden something took over. And I told Chloe this too. It's crazy. I became obsessed with like learning everything I could. And then I always laugh and I tell her like I nerd out over this, but it's like just all the information. How can I convert this into knowing more, just in case I get asked questions? Because that's always what you hate, right? When somebody asks you a question, you don't know the answer. I know that I can ask Chloe. I know that I can go to the training pages. I know that I can find it somehow through the website. I can ask the customer support. I can do all that. But I just want to arm myself with all that information. So yes, we agreed to do a launch party. I was nervous about it too. So I wanted to have just a few of my family members there, a few of my closest friends, because I wanted to be the most comfortable that I could. And I knew that is what it would take for me to just feel as strong and as confident as possible. So just planning it out, down to, okay, everybody that was coming, we were doing a sniff and sip session. So just having everything out, keeping it casual and light, because the other thing that really scared me, besides feeling like I wasn't a salesperson or able to sell this, was just, I also didn't want anybody to feel obligated. So I was inviting people that I was very comfortable with, but then I didn't want them to feel like, okay, so she's inviting us to this party. She's going to try to sell us these things. We're obligated to at least buy something. So really, more than anything, that whole launch party for me was not even about like what it was going to turn out, but just, okay, I need to get comfortable, and I need to see like what kind of questions they're asking, because I've always been on the other side of the coin. I've just been listening to whoever, and like from my own mind of like, what am I interested in? What do I want to order? But not from the perspective of like, what do I need to say to everybody? What is everybody going to ask? So it was so nice. I was very blessed to have Chloe there and help me with that, because, just watching how she navigated questions and just, went through the products. Like, it was inspiring, and I knew, okay, this is what I want to do, and I want to personalize it because I know these people here today, and that was lucky for me. But from here forward, I will probably only know a few or maybe one, person at a party. So it was just already like in my mind thinking, okay, so what am I going to do as I do this on my own? And I want to theme it. Like, I don't want to be that consultant selling Scentsy. I want to be somebody that they get to know and that they like and that they want to reach out to. And, something will remind them of me, or, I just wanted to be somebody that they remembered, so that hopefully when it came time to order, it was me that they wanted to order from again. So I love pirates. It was Captain Hook for me. It was when I was 15. I read the J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan. So I have been obsessed with Captain Hook ever since. So I am, naming my business Hooked on Scents, and everything is pirate themed. Like, I have netting over my tablecloth. I have, a hook standing there on my display table. But yeah, so everything was themed, but I thought this would open up conversation pointers, right? Like, I could talk on this. My little display table, like the stand that has like the warmers on it, it's some of my dad's wood. So I figured my dad was always such just a comfortable spot for me, so having something of his that was there was just so comforting, but also it's beautiful, right? It's a piece of cedar. So I was like, that is another conversation piece, but it personalizes me. I made a display board, and it's just so funny. I get nervous. Like, so Chloe said, I'm extroverted, and I am to a degree, but I also get very nervous talking in front of people when everyone's looking at me. So I thought, oh my gosh, my mind is going to go blank, and I don't want to mess up. I don't want to look like I'm not together. So I made a display board, and that was so I could talk off of it, reference it, not forget things. And then of course I'd have the products on the table too. But yeah, okay, so back to the launch party. Like, I already got off base. So with the launch party, it went great, and we did the game. And Chloe, you're right, like opening up with that game, like the pleasantries, of course, when everybody comes in, but doing a game, like we had my mom there, who's 77. And then we had another older lady there, and they were friendly, but we wanted them to be engaged. And this game, she did the saran wrap game, where you make samples, you put it all throughout the saran wrap, and then someone's rolling dice to get a 2 or a 6 while somebody's continuing to unravel the saran wrap. We did this and passed it around, and people got very excited. They were all laughing. They were all energized, so while I knew them all, some of my friends didn't know my mom or some of the other people. So it was nice. It brought everybody together. Everybody was very relaxed. They were then very engaged. Everybody was asking questions, like throwing in little comments. So it was nice. I love that. Another thing that made me really nervous about the launch party and even just stepping into this was like, okay, with the orders. So like getting very comfortable with like all of the bundle, the save and bundles, or bundle and saves. I'm still trying to get that wording right, but like knowing all the products and how they're linked together. People's writing, like, okay, so we didn't give them the order forms right away, but even when they came to order, as they tell you what they want, they're not grouping it together. So you really have to stop and listen before you start writing stuff down, because I found, oh my gosh, I'm scratching all over this thing and it looks messy. I'm supposed to give them a copy of this. So it was just, knowing exactly, listening to them first and then writing, trying to get them the best savings possible. And then they know that you're looking out for them. And then also to clarifying anything that they wrote, because 3s and 5s can look a lot like 8s. So I just learned that, and I feel much more confident with that now too. I'm trying to think of anything else that I want to share about the launch party.
Can you also make sure you share after the launch party? I really want you to share about how you started one-on-ones very quickly. I don't think you realize that. We haven't talked about it a lot, but I want you to share how you offer to go to people's houses to let them smell the scents. Like if they text you and want something, how you take it way a step further by giving them all these examples and adding things on. So like, obviously when you're done with the launch party stuff,
Oh yeah,
I would love for you to share about that and how you were very focused on the customer experience part right off the bat, because you've never done this before, like customer service like this before. And I think people need to hear, it's much like Danny, like focusing on serving. So anyways, I just want to make sure you talk about that after.
No, that's good. And that's good because like you're focusing me in. I needed to get focused. So okay, so with the customer service portion, like as those orders came in, just getting everything straight and right, I contacted everybody. I was letting them know when everything was coming in, of course, but then I went and delivered it to their house because they're all local for me. So I went and delivered it because I wanted to do that personal touch. And then following back up with them later about how they liked it. But also too, there was a few girls who couldn't come. So as I dropped off their items, I said, oh my gosh, like you didn't get to, smell some of the newer scents. So I too have like a little carry around pouch. It's supposed to be a basket party, but I loved it so much. I just keep it for myself. And that has my catalog in it, all my little scratch and sniffs, the tester kits, anything that I would need. But yeah, then so I'll say, oh my gosh, like I hate that you missed it. Here's some of the newer things. I just wanted to make sure that you smell this for next time. Some of them would turn around and be like, oh no, wait, no, I want to go ahead and order that. Let's go ahead and get that ordered. Or I would hear back from them in a few days. My sister-in-law ended up giving some of the samples to her best friend, who then contacted me and was like, I love that scent. Can I order a bar? I had a bar on hand because I had ordered enough of these. It was the Sweet and Sassy, the Tinkerbell scent. So I told her I could arrange to meet her and get her this bar. And she said, okay. So it's funny, my husband was like, oh my gosh, because I made her up this whole packet. And he's like, what are you doing? And I said, it's a bar, but later it'll be more someday. So when we met her, I gave her all these things to take home and the catalog, and I had her smelling some things. And yeah, I mean, honestly, y'all, that was on a Wednesday. Friday, she contacted me and did like a really big order because she had looked through the catalog. She knew some of the things she liked smelling. So it was good. But yeah, just trying to make everybody, like, of course, the customers who have ordered from me aware, that I'm here. I want to help them. Okay, so also too at the launch party, it's very important to book another party. And I wasn't sure if anybody was going to sign up for another one, but one of my friends is like, I love Scentsy. And I mean, she came in already saying it. And Chloe's like, oh my gosh, this lady loves Scent. Look, you need to talk to her. I said, I know. So yeah, she volunteered to have a party. So that was my first party outside of my launch. And I mean, her party, mine did, okay, so my launch party did $875. Her launch party, which I just closed last week, did $1,200. So, I mean, she had a huge, well, not her launch party, her party. I was hoping it could be a launch party for her, but I did the join conversation with her, and she's very excited and she wants to come on board, but she was telling me about all the things that she has planned for the summer. So she's really kind of hoping for August. So that is my plan. I'm going to keep her excited. And then I'll just keep giving the opportunity to others as I talk to them. But yeah, her party was huge. And this is where I got to show my display for the first time. So with my hostess rewards, instead of just ordering stuff for me, which is totally what I thought I was going to do, right? Like I was getting all these rewards. I was like, I'm going to order more Scentsy stuff for me. But then I was like, wait a minute, no, this is a business. And I don't want to tear apart my house every time I'm going to go to do a party, trying to clean up my warmers, make them road ready. It's like, no, I just need some staple pieces that speak to people. So the alabaster warmer that came in in my shooting star kit, I kept that. For display, I ordered the flower garden display because where alabaster is very classy and it could match any kind of decor. Then I thought, okay, flower garden is really interesting because of the way it kind of switches up on you. It's white with the gray etching, and then all of a sudden the lights come on and the gray etching turns to the light, and then the whole rest of the warmer is dark. So I thought that would be neat for them to see visually. I did the letterboard, the little the element warmer, because I thought they need to see an example of this too. We mentioned it in the catalog, but they need to see it in real life. And then I thought they could see how they could personalize it for whatever's going on in their family. I did the mini warmer, the crowned in gold. And this is so funny. Like I ordered this as a display piece. It's displayed at this party that I was just at. 4 people ordered it because they loved looking at it. They were like, oh my gosh, this warmer, where is it in the catalog? So I showed them, and then 4 people ordered it. We also did a counter clean demo while I was at this party. 2 people ordered the same counter clean that was done with the demo. So what I found from that party, okay, was just that you do some demos and interactions with them. They take notice to the products you're using. They notice the smells more. Everything that I set out, they were coming up and looking at and kind of feeling, or, you know, just like sampling it scent wise. Like it was just very interactive. And that, I think, is what really made a difference with the second party. Not that the first one wasn't successful. We had even more people at the second party, but I think they really liked that. So as I was checking people out, and I told Chloe this, there were 2 different ladies who told me. One was like, I have worked with many, you know, consultants before. I've really just been a part of bag parties. And I said, okay. And she said, so, I mean, I got to smell things, but I really never knew that you guys had this many things. Like, this was nice. Thank you. And I said, oh, well, thank you. And then another lady said that she had been to parties before and had had fun, but that she too was just not aware of everything that was out there. So I guess like with the display factor, like she just was able to look and see a lot more, you know, there was a lot of different examples. With the wall fan, it's funny, I had one plugged in and I told them, you know, hey, if you're using this in your bathroom, and let's go back. Let's say that you're using a mini warmer, which is beautiful and deserves placement in your house somewhere. But let's say you have it in your bathroom, but you're also going to straighten your hair, you're going to blow dry your hair. What's happening? You're knocking all around the bottom of that warmer and then wax is spilling. So I was like, this is a great alternative. So I kind of knocked my hand around underneath it and I said, see, what's the worst that's going to happen? The top may come off, and then look, there's 2 pods in here. They're not going to break. So I popped them back in. We had orders from the wall fans. So I think it just helps people to be able to see those products and, you know, get some ideas that way. So that was really helpful. And then Chloe, another thing, okay, sensational start. So you wanted to talk about goals for that. So for me with sensational start, and even like with shooting star, it was just learning what was the next step. And then that was my goal. I didn't worry about the rest of the goals out there because then that can get overwhelming. So I just focused on, okay, hitting shooting star. Then once I hit shooting star, it was, okay, what's the sensational start? Okay, 1,500. Whew, I was like, I don't know if I can hit that, but I'll try. And then with my launch party and a few other orders, I hit it. So I was like, okay, what's the next step? So it was 3,000 PRV, or like, you know, or having the 1,500, but then 1 join. So I really tried for the 1 to join, but along the way, I just kept working on that PRV. So my girl didn't join just yet, but she will, and I'm going to keep working on her and working on others. But I hit the PRV. So I was like, okay, so I'm just going to keep on moving. So I think I have 18 more days left. My first 70 days, I think I'm down to just 18 days left, but that's still some time. So I'm gonna keep on looking to 3.
And what's incredible about it, because Danny was literally, y'all are the same person. Danny's just like me because she's my age, and you're like, you know, you're a young mom. So Lee's only about to be 46. She's young. She is my stepmom, just so I can preface it at that, but she has raised me and is a mom, but she is very young. So in case y'all ask, that's why. But like, her and Danny are very similar. Like, Danny literally after her 70 days finally sponsored those 2 that she had been working on for the month and a half prior. Like, and it's going to be the same with you, Lee. And I would love really quick, because I want to do a Q&A at the end with both of you guys to have people ask questions. And I encourage you guys to start thinking of questions now. Don't type them, but think of them. But I want you to share, Lee, because this was baller. And I am doing this for every home party from now on. Walk me through what you did with your home party girl when the orders came in. Have they came in? Have you done it yet?
No,
what
I ordered, everything's ordered.
Yeah, we've talked about this. When her home party comes in, walk them through what your plan is to do with the host. Obviously, you can't do this with every host, but I am going to. I don't think you have to be super close with them. They are friends, but walk them through your idea of how you want to package the orders.
Okay, so my host, I told you guys she's thinking of joining. Well, not thinking. She said she's going to join as soon as her summer calms down, and this is going to play out like in August. So I want to keep her excitement. I want her just to, like, she had so much fun at the party. So now as the orders come in, I had mentioned to her, hey, when the orders come in, would you like to come over? And then we could package them together. And she's like, oh, yes, I'd love to. I was like, it'll be so fun. We'll have some drinks. We'll have a nice time. And she was like, okay. So she's going to come over, and I'm going to make this very fun for her. Like we're going to package everything up. We're going to check all the lists, because I mean, it was her party too. So these are people she knows and her friends, but yeah, I just thought that would be a nice way to have her be a part of it just as much as she wants to, though, because it's still like, this is still going to be my job to do this, but I want to involve her and let her see like this. Yes, it's work, but this kind of work is actually fun. Like,
Yeah,
you
well,
just
and
have
it's
to
fun,
let it
and,
be.
and she gets to experience you guys. I thought this was so incredible because I've never thought of this. It's never been trained on. I could put my hand on the Bible. A consultant has never said this. Why are we not having the host, if they want to come over, and you could even turn on like a show on TV while you do it too, or whatever, to make it not, uncomfortable. Let them experience how fun it is to smell every bar. What do we do
Yeah.
when orders come in? We smell
Yeah.
every bar. We're looking at the warmers. Why, even if you're too afraid to talk to the host about joining, let her come and package it with you, right?
Mhm.
And then her closest people she'll see at work, she can take with her after. But then everybody else, Lee's going to deliver. She may be crazy and deliver everybody's. I don't know what Lee's going to do with that. But also her daughter, this host's daughter, is in nursing school. And Lee remembers when I was in nursing school. So Lee's already been like thinking like, hey, like we can get her involved. So I think that is a great idea, you guys, for every home party going forward. I know it's uncomfortable. I am like way more like even Danny on the introvert spectrum, but the blessing in that and being able to do life with that person and talk with that person and share a glass of wine or tea or water, whatever, and have them smell the scents and help package it I think it's really going to do something, Lee. And I can't wait. We talk every day, but I can't wait to hear how I think it's going to really amp her up and get her pumped. Like
I think so
excited.
too.
I think it's right.
So I put thank you cards, in everybody's order. So I figure I'm going to do a few things, first, like I'll do them before she even gets over here, but I'll have them out. And that way it's a little bit more organized for her. But yeah, we can cut open the boxes. We can, look inside, figure out whose orders who, but just make it fun. That way it's like some of these things that might seem like, oh, but then there's this, and then there's this piece. Like, no, it's fun. Just make it fun.
Yeah,
Make it fun, and then it'll just, it'll put a whole different spin on it. The mindset.
And you're lucky because my dad will be there and he's embarrassing and tells dad jokes. So he'll probably come out and seal the deal. So that'll be great for you. But thank you so much, Lee. That was great. You know how much I love you. Danny, I love you. And I'm so proud of both of you, and just at the levels you guys are at in life. It's two different perspectives you guys got, like literally. And so I just want to open it up for like 5 minutes. Do you guys have any questions for them? And this is y'all's opportunity. I'll just go back and forth between both of them. Is there any open questions that you guys have for them about what their biggest success was in their first 70 days, or what, so someone asked what games you guys play at the party. So I know, Danny, I normally tell my girls for the first game to do the saran wrap game. I think Danny did that too. Yeah. So I'm going to unmute you, Danny, just so you can.
Yeah, we did the saran wrap. I actually did that at both of the parties that I had. And honestly, I don't know if I want to do another game, because it is so fun and it makes those quiet people want to play. Like, we all sit around a couch or a table, or you stand up and you have this big ball of saran wrap, and it's full of free samples, and you have competitive people like me that are just like going through it like crazy. And then I just think it's fun. I think it's one of the best games that you can play. It's an icebreaker. It's a way to like make everybody just feel. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's my favorite. My grandma, like her mom was like literally like getting super crazy with it. It was great.
Yeah. She
And
started off all polite and then she was crazed by
because
the
you
end.
want the things. And Lee, do you want to share? And I'm going to have you post this one too, because I want it. You want to share really quick your bingo?
Yeah, so I did a Scentsy bingo. So I picked out, I couldn't find an example that I wanted to use for myself, and I still need to pretty it up a little bit more, but I did like 12 different screens. I picked 20 different words, and each of the boards got 16. So everybody's was a little bit different, and I made sure of that. But as I called out the word, it was all, of course, Scentsy themed. But while they were looking, I would just give them information on that product. So that was a way to kind of start talking about things too. I even had a lady this last party that was writing little things down, like she was writing notes down on her bingo sheet to the side that she came and asked me about afterwards. She's like, tell me more about the go. It's like, okay. So I did during the product, like the display, kind of going over everything anyway, but yeah, she wanted to see it. She wanted to practice taking the lid off to see if that was something that she could use. So it was good. It was just another way to get people thinking about those different things.
And y'all, she didn't even use Canva. She typed it up on a Word document. So chill out with Canva. Nobody cares.
I'm still learning. So that's
Steal,
another.
listen, I'm good at Canva. Just steal my stuff when I post it. No one cares. Steal anybody's stuff. You're
So
wasting
that's another
time.
thing.
Canva's
So
not
I'm not
making you money. Just do, yeah. And I literally told her, I was like, I'll remake it with you with Canva. And she was like, no, I'm good. I already made them. So I'll have you leave. We'll talk after this, but share her board and then share her bingo. And then Danny, I would love for you to share your purse packs with people out so they can see those.
Yeah.
But Saran Wrap game is tried and true. If you want a simple game that's fun and competitive for like age 3 to age like 95, the Saran Wrap game will get people like crunk and fun. And then with the bingo game, I mean, I've never heard of a game like that until Lee did it, and it was great from what she told me. And they were asking questions, and you got to talk about products. So it ended up being really, really good. And so let me see.
And with Canva, so Chloe, just to mention real quick too, for me, like you guys, like I'm not social media savvy. I mean, like I had to have tutorials on like Instagram and special features from Instagram and stories. I had never done a story before this. I had never done a reel before this. So I'm putting myself out there and I'm just doing it. I mean, I'm getting likes, I'm getting views. One of my reels got up to 1,000 views. I don't even know how. But,
yes.
So,
Let's
yeah,
go on with the real
bigger.
whatever. Like we're here for it. So someone did ask from both of you, and we'll start with Danny. What was the most helpful thing? Oh no, that I told you that motivated you when you started? I don't know. I'm a pretty hardcore trainer, so I kind of just told them what to do. But Danny, I guess what helped you? What motivated you the most when you started, if you can remember?
Honestly, I think it's how powerful you are as a leader, because you are balls to the wall and it's like, I remember you kept telling me, you're not going to die. Like, do the launch party. You'll be fine. You're not going to die. Like, it's like repeated in my head. So like anytime I have a home party or someone else who might have one that's nervous, it's like, okay, guess what? Chloe's repeating in my head, you're not going to die. Like, it's going to be fine. You're going to survive. And that's like the biggest thing in my head. Like, you're just so not, I don't want to say cutthroat, but you're like to the point. And it's like, if you're not going to do the launch party, then your business is not going to be set off on a good note. Like, you want to set yourself up for success, do the launch party. Like, and that's what's instilled in me, but like in a good, loving way. So that's what I would say.
So that's what happens with people that join under me. So welcome to my people's life. But look at how you have 2 new consultants now. And you never would have thought. I know this. You never would have thought, right? So I just love you for that. And I love that you listened to me and like even just partnered with me, like as a friend and as a mom, because you knew like I'm not going to tell you anything that's going to waste your time. So I love that you said, and you didn't die, and now you're more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like you don't think as much before you post stuff. You're like, I'm just going to do it. Like you literally post every day or every other day, and you were not texting me about it because you're comfortable now.
Mhm,
Because
mhm.
you saw you're not gonna die. And it's also like, if they don't want to like it or be involved in it, they could kindly just go to
They'll just keep on rolling. Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
keep on
Chloe,
moving.
that's part of your charm though. And I think that's something very unique for you, like is your real talk. Like what you see is what you get. You're going to be very honest. And I love that. I love that in all capacities about you. But and this, what I'm going to say is so simple. And I mean, you told me it. And then Danny, I heard you say it earlier, but this is what resonated with me. So I told you guys earlier that I just did not look at myself as like somebody who could sell.
Mhm.
And then Chloe was like, Lee. No. Scentsy sells itself. You just
Right.
got to put it in front of the people. You just got to show them Scentsy and then it will sell itself. So I kept thinking about that, like, okay, I just have to show them and tell them about the products and then it will do the rest. So I quit worrying so much about me selling, me making people feel obligated by coming to my party. Like I quit worrying about that. And I just thought, I just need to tell them. I just need to know as much about the products as I can so I can be a good representation of all of their options. Like they have tons and tons of options. Please find something that works good for you.
Mhm.
You know,
Oh,
and
so
it'll
good.
work.
So good.
Facts.
So you're not gonna die
Mhm.
and you're not selling it. You're just gonna share it with them. It sells itself. And I think those are like great tips to give them. Because for me, even when I joined, like Danny doesn't know this, but Lee does, like Justin bought my kit, my husband. I did not want to do this, you guys. I had just graduated nursing school, you guys. I was set. I wanted to actually be a nurse anesthetist. Like I was good. And whenever I got my kit, I had nobody to not even tell me, but it's like I had to actually go through having my own home launch party, which I had at my best friend's house at the time that Lee went to, my grandma, my aunt, like everybody I could get to do it. I drove to Fayetteville, where I'm from, because I knew it'd be better there. So I literally drove there. And I remember thinking, you're not going to die. It's your family and friends. And I also remember thinking, because I certified my first month, I also remember thinking, like, just share it. Let them smell it. Like you're awkward, Chloe. You don't know everything. You don't know the catalog yet. You just joined, put it in front of their face. You know a 6-pack and you can go to the Combine and Saves. That's really all you need to do to get to 1,000, you know, like to get certified and to get, because I had already missed Shooting Star for me because I didn't take anything seriously. And so I just love that you both said that because I think those are so pivotal even for life, you know, like whether it's about like your marriage or your walk with Jesus or your business or your real job. Both of y'all have full-time jobs that are stressful. I know that from both of you, that can be stressful and that can be high demand. And so Scentsy for both of y'all is like, you're in control of that happy place and you're in control of blessing people and doing that. And so I just am so glad you guys came on. I'm going to stop the recording.